So yesterday, my girls and I were about to catch the train to the train station, and I drive to the train station. A car kept stopping in front of us, just kept driving really, really slow at about 10 miles an hour, and just kept slowing to a stop, causing me to stop my car. So the third time he did it, and I'm trying to catch this train. The first time he did it, I was just like, forget this. I'm not sure what you're up to, but I need to catch the train. I overtook him and parked up my car. Oh, sorry, I'm really, really shaken by what happened. It was just,
Yesterday.
Yeah, and so I get out of my car, and then I'm confronted with a gentleman by my side. Now, the first thing I notice is, to my knowledge, he's wearing a police officer's uniform. So I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to get in trouble because I overtook him. So I was just like, I'm so sorry. I was rushing to catch the train, blah, blah, blah. And he was
Did you realise at the time it was the same person that was in the car that you'd overtaken?
I think I just assumed, because the way that, when I overtook him, I knew that I shouldn't have overtaken him. So because of that, I just thought, this police officer has seen me do that. I didn't really recognise immediately that he was the same person. Right. So anyway, then he says to me, what's wrong with you? And starts kind of, going on with expletives and stuff. And then I asked him, I said, can you please not swear in front of my children? And then he said, you lot make me beep sick. And when he said you lot, immediately that's when things changed for me. I was thinking, well, what do you mean
by that?
Us lot. And then anyway, the tirade just kind of continued. As I said, when I mentioned the children, my purpose was to kind of calm him down because
make him aware that there was
there were two little girls here with me. So please stop swearing in front of the girls. And then he was like, oh, bleep, bleep, bleep. And then he I can't even say exactly what he said, but he put the word black in there and called me a black bee. Now, at this point, I was, I just got really petrified, to be honest. I got really, really scared. Scared for myself, scared for the girls. And I just wanted to get out of there. And
was there anyone else around at the time?
No, so it's the road leading up to the train station. It's kind of like one car can fit up and down the road. So no one was walking
along. It was early.
It was 7:45 in the morning. Obviously, my girls had just kind of stood there in absolute shock.
I was going to say, were they? How were the girls reacting? I mean, they must have been terrified.
The thing is, I'm 35 and I've never ever experienced anything like that. And my children are 15 and 10, and never did I expect that they would, endure something like that or watch.
Well, just want to clarify, because we can spell it out. So he called you a black B-I-T-C-H.
Okay, I didn't know we could spell it out.
And just so that, because sometimes people put their own words into...
Yeah, he said, you lot are
make me sick.
Yeah.
What made you think he was a police officer?
Well, to my knowledge, he was wearing a white shirt with the epaulets, and on the epaulets was a letter and some numbers.
Yeah.
He wasn't in a police car. The only thing that made me think that was because of how he was dressed. Now,
but he could have been a security guard, maybe.
The police. And one thing I have to point out: the police have been absolutely fantastic.
So you've reported?
I've reported. Yeah, I've reported the incident. The police have been fantastic, and they did point out to me that he could have been. He's not necessarily a police officer. He could be a more senior ranking officer. He could also be a security guard. He could also be.
But he is somebody in authority.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I mean.
But it was an unmarked car.
It was an unmarked car, and what ended the whole thing? He pushed the door open as if to get out, and that was when I was just like, okay, I've got to grab the girls and just run.
Yeah.
That was my first instinct, because I just thought, what is he going to do?
And
what's he going to do to us?
The girls.
The girls were just
terrified,
just absolutely astonished. I mean, we were all just shaking and I'm just taking my kids to school. Like it's ridiculous.
Yes.
And Jamelia, would you say that this is just a thug? This is road rage. This is something that we've all at some point experienced, an idiot shouting at us. Or do you think this was a racist thing towards you because of your colour?
I completely understand him being upset. I completely understand him being angry. And I don't have a problem with that. I would have even not had a problem if he told me off as a police officer and I did something wrong. Yeah. Absolutely fine. But to speak to me like that, to use racist language, if I was angry, no matter how angry I am, I'm never going to use racist language because I'm not a racist person.
If you've enjoyed that, then why not click here for more? And don't forget to subscribe by clicking here so that you never miss out on the best Loose Women moments.